This is the All Things Nerd Podcast, Season 4, Episode 25. On tonight's show, we talk about the console wars of 2020, Nintendo, PS5, and Xbox. What's the new Xbox? I don't know. Scorpio or X or something. One of those
Series
things.
1X.
Series 1X. They're all going at it. We're also going to be talking about chess. You know, it's old, but it's new because it's taking over Twitch. And we are also going to be talking about a Thrawn TV series potentially in the works over at Disney+. That and much, much more. So here's the intro. Hello to all the Geek Enthusiasts and Nerd Aficionados. This is Mess5150 welcoming you back to another All Things Nerd podcast. It is Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, twitch.tv/Malice Corp. We thank you guys for joining us every Friday live here to talk about all things nerd, geek, and pop culture. We start these shows out with a little thing that we call Getting Your Geek On.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Getting Your Geek On is what we've been doing to pass the time for the last week or day or 48 hours, whatever it takes to get by every minute, every second, every hour. And the little things that we think that maybe you should check out or maybe you should stay far, far away from. It's also how we introduce who's here on the cast. You have me as the host, Mess5150. Also joining us on the cast, we have him every other week. Nudie Rudy joins us on the cast. How are you, sir?
Doing excellent. Happy to be here. Yeah, mostly this week geeking out on still loving the deep content on Final Fantasy VII Remake, enjoying that. Finished up Preacher, getting deeper into Doom Patrol, and just today I finally watched Spirited Away, good old Miyazaki. So yeah, had a good.
Wait, finally watched or watched it again?
Finally watched, yeah.
Really? So you've never seen Spirited Away before?
No.
Wow.
Better late than never, man.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Because wasn't Spirit that was the one that really kicked off Miyazaki into US, I thought. I know Mononoke. Yeah. Mononoke was
my introduction. I loved it. But
Spirited Away was the one where I think it was nominated for an Oscar or something. I can't remember. I don't know. Yeah, best animated for sure. So I don't know. Yeah, HBO Max has all that stuff.
Yep.
Our producer, Jack Malice, has been geeking out on writing and, of course, taking naps and eating tacos. He didn't write that in there, but I know he's eating tacos. Also joining us on the cast, we have Eloni back. What you been doing?
What's up, guys? So this past week, I have been listening to another audiobook. What the hell was it called? The Way of the Shadows by Brent Weeks, about the Wet Boys. It's good. I like it. It was recommended to me by Jack Malice, but it's good. I'm enjoying it. Fantasy, assassiny. It was good. The other thing I've been geeking out on is I got some new birthday presents because it was my birthday last weekend, and I was telling you guys before I got a new weighted plate vest. So adding 20 pounds to running sucks. But, all the gyms are still closed.
Lastly, on the cast, we have Mind Freak rejoining us. What you been up to?
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back again. Life is hectic and crazy, but getting through it. What have I been geeking out on? Well, I know last time I was on the cast, I said that next year, Bleach, if you're all you anime fans out there, Bleach is coming back. For the 20th anniversary, so I have been re-watching through Bleach. Some of the best anime fights, some of them, not all, I think are in Bleach. Because all the major studios, stuff like that, have pushed them all back because of everything that's going on. That, and then I got hooked onto a Final Fantasy game on my phone, Dissidia, Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. I'm playing that game, free game. And it's fantastic. So if you like Final Fantasy and you want to play a phone game to pass the time, I highly recommend checking it out.
My Geek Out's been watching a couple movies. I've also been watching stuff on HBO Max. And up in the little top corner of HBO Max, it has a browse option and a Last Chance is what it's called, and it's the movies coming off. So it's those movies that I didn't see in the theater that I was like, I didn't want to pay for. So let's see if they're any good here on HBO Max. And for the most part, no, they're not. I watched the new Hellboy. Yeah, it's bad. It's just bad. I don't know. There's no redeeming quality inside that film.
Like
at all.
when I saw the trailer for the Hellboy remake, I'm like, it's not Ron Perlman. I'm not watching it. I'm done. I'm sorry.
No,
and I'm glad I didn't, because that's all. Everybody that I've heard that's seen it is doing the exact same thing you've just done.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I watched The Meg as well. The Meg is like a 10-star film compared to Hellboy in my opinion. So, and then today I also watched Unfriended, the Dark Web, which interesting concept, but yeah, nothing good. It's yeah, whatever. Kat Sedal joins us in the chat room with a big old smile. Thanks for welcoming to the cast, Cats. Yeah, let's get past all that. Let's get on to actually what we're here for, and that's to talk about the things that have been going on and have some fun. We're going to start out this week with a game because there is a holiday coming up this Sunday, which is Father's Day. So this is What a Twist.
Twist and shout. Let's do the twist.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
What a twist.
What a Twist is when a holiday is coming up, we take movie synopses and twist them around a little bit to make them a little bit more holiday themed towards the movie, and throw a quote in there as well for people to guess. Usually we would go person by person on this, but we're going to change it up a little bit this week. I'm going to have everybody write their guesses down, and then we'll go through each person to see if they guessed right or not. All right, so the first movie, the synopsis, okay. I didn't do great with these ones, but it's hard to twist it into a Father's Day thing. But the synopsis is, a young boy looks to follow in his father's footsteps, looking to help eliminate his father's adversary for Father's Day. Unfortunately, the adversary isn't what he seems, and a new Father's Day present is given in the form of a new friendship. The quote from the film, mixed up, is, most people would leave, not us, we're Vikings, we have father issues. Write down your thought, what you think it is, and then we'll move on to the next movie. You guys all good?
Say the quote one more time.
Most people would leave, not us. We're Vikings. We have father issues.
You mean daddy issues?
Yeah, whatever. All right, second movie. Trained in a distant land and taken care of, a boy returns to his home to barbecue and give his mentor, new father figure, the tie he always wanted, but learns that his mentor has something far worse planned for him and his home. The quote is, and why do we give ties? So we can learn to dress respectfully. Of course, these aren't the real quotes. I changed the words around if you didn't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do terrible at this game.
Third movie. Two young men form a secretive and forbidden bond of trying to find the best Father's Day present through the years. Only problem, they're stuck on a ranch with nowhere to shop. The quote is, I wish I knew how to quit thinking about getting my dad that ultimate barbecue and apron set that he really wants. It's a stretch. All right, so let's go through everybody's guesses. Okay, so first movie. Aloni, what'd you guess for the first movie?
The only thing I could think of was How to Train Your Dragon.
And that's correct. What'd you guess? Nudie Rudy and Mind Freak, what'd you guys guess?
No clue.
You had no clue?
So I think I did it wrong because I was gonna put because you're doing like a mashup kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I thought you were mashing up two movies. So I was combining two movies: How to Train Your Dragons of Happiness. So like How to Train Your Dragons in the Pursuit of Happiness, because you said ties and stuff like that. So
no, we're just switching things around. So
okay,
okay. All right, Nudie Rudy, what you have for the second film?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. What about
batting 1,000 today?
I love that you're saying batting 1,000. What about Mind Freak and Aloni?
I didn't get anything.
I put Elf. Say the code again. Say the code again. Let's do it
again. Remember, we switch things around. And why do we give ties? So we can learn to dress respectfully. The real quote is in Why Do We Fall Down? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
It's Batman Begins, batting 1,000.
Wow, should have had that.
Wow, I was completely off. I said Elf.
Well, Bruce Wayne isn't celebrating any Father's Days.
Ouch. Oh, cold.
Ooh.
Okay, any guesses on the last film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brokeback Mountain.
That's what I had.
That's what I guessed. Yay!
I wish I knew how to quit you.
So Aloni wins with her two correct ones.
Woo, hell yeah.
Okay, moving on because Jack Malice, our producer, hates these games. Let's get into the nerd news. Console Wars 2020, they're coming. They're starting because prices are leaking, or people are rumoring their prices, or other Nintendo's dropping new games that are old games that are cult favorites. So first and foremost, WEETech.com rumored that the Xbox Series S Lockhart is going to be half of the Series X. It's going to be all digital, and it's going to be $400. As well as they're looking to plan to go up against PS5 with a $200, $400, $600 system thing. This was supposed to be their mic drop moment. Is them releasing this type of stuff? What do you guys think on the Xbox? If that's
so, like, I know, like, with the whole like Series X and then like Series X Lite, you know, same thing they did with the Xbox One. Then they had the Xbox One S and then the One X. Which essentially it's the same concept. There are a little bit of differences to it. You know, the One X being 4K resolution, and the bigger hard drive and all that stuff. So really, like, if you're going to go with competitiveness of it, it's going to be $100 difference. If the PS5 is rumored to be like $399 to $499, which there's also, I heard, two versions of it, like an all digital one and the non-digital one. I'm thinking $399 to $499 for the PS, and then going to probably look in $399 to $599 for the Xbox. Because in looking in the past of console releases, when you're doing PlayStation versus Xbox, yeah, PlayStation's usually been $100 cheaper. But at the same time, you know, yeah, I know PlayStation has sold more units. Mm-hmm. But looking at it on the long-term things of it, and this is something that I've always said, and I'm not just saying this because I primarily play Xbox. I know PlayStation has, you know, a lot of online games, this and that, but one of the things that I use my PlayStation for is all of the single-player games. The games where I don't need to be online, because those stories, all that stuff, I can just immerse myself, sit back, relax, not worry about it. But if I'm going to be online playing with my friends, all my friends and everything that I've made over the years are on Xbox, so I'll switch back over to Xbox and play like all my online games and stuff like that. That's just how I am. I know there's a lot of people that agree with me and go like back and forth, like, oh yeah, I have both, but I'm on my PlayStation more, this or that. It comes down to preference too, ultimately.
Yeah. Well, in our chat room, we got Ruru2 joining us. Welcome, Ruru. Says $400 for new Xbox or a 2060 Super. Give me the 2060 Super. That wasn't on the list. Okay. And then Katsudow says, Jack Mouse says, I'll take a PS5 for $300. Katsudow says PS5 will beat out Xbox. Issues with both of these systems are being locked into the 30 frames per second still. And Cannon Fodder says Series X is more powerful and cheaper and is backward compatible all the way through the original Xbox. Which we still haven't gotten the full stuff from PlayStation. They're still saying that there's backwards compatibility going.
Yeah, but we don't know when it's going to be on. And I know PlayStation kind of introduced it a little bit with PS Now, which is their version of Xbox Game Pass. Which on Game Pass, which if you guys have Xbox, I'm not advocating for Xbox by any ways. I'm just saying, me personally, I like Game Pass. It's either $10 or $15 a month, depending on which one you want to do. And you have over 100 games like to choose from. And they keep adding newer and newer games, like recent relevant games. I think like one of the biggest ones they just put back on there last month was Red Dead Redemption 2. But also with the backwards compatibility aspect, you know, you can go all the way back. You have the original Fable and Fable Anniversary, some Fusion Frenzy, Panzer Dragoon Orta. Like a lot of these old games that first came out that started the whole console wars back with the PS1 and the original Xbox. You can go back and play that. Now, PS Now, I've looked at it. I've seen some of the games on there. It's pretty cool. It's mostly like, you know, they're smaller studio kind of games and stuff like that. I haven't seen real big titles on there, but I could be mistaken.
Well, some of the things in this article, and I'll get some of the Aloni and New Rudy your thoughts too. They said that it's not just about Xbox for July. Like Sony jumped the gun and got their big mic drop moment first. But when we're saying console wars, they're saying that in July, everybody's going to be coming hard with strategies that they've been building up. Google, Amazon, Apple, Sony, which they've already done their stuff. Even Nintendo are all expecting to do mic drops. And then that for Xbox, that the Lockhart is a key device in their strategy. It's a low-cost gateway they can control to make sure the hardware can handle their new compression techniques. And they will employ with xCloud over the next few years. So they're coming big with their Lockhart technology as well.
Yeah, and then to in the chat, you know, with Ruru, yeah, Game Pass is on Xbox, is on PC as well. I do know that, but also too, like with PC though, you have a lot of different options of stuff with it too. Not just in terms of Game Pass, but with like Steam and stuff like that. So yeah, I can understand the agreement of not needing the new Xbox because that's on there. And then yeah, Cats, yeah, Game Pass beats out PS Now.
And Jack's big into the show, MLB The Show.
Yeah,
that's on PlayStation, so that's why he's not. What about what? Do you even have any systems, Aloni?
I do. So I have the Xbox One, and my husband has a PS4. So, like
divided household.
Huh?
Divided household.
Yeah, I think it was just. I think he got it for me for Christmas one year, so I think it was more of like for him and for me type gift. But I enjoy it. Like I'll play all the Telltale games when Telltale was a thing. I really enjoyed those. I like the idea of the light version where it's all digital because I don't like having things. So if it's all digital, that like gets rid of a ton of clutter. But I know you nerds love having the tangible discs in the box and organizing them, and which is totally fine. I'm not super big into that. The only thing that the mic drop is bothering me because it's like I remember when Blizzard thought that they had a mic drop with their Diablo mobile game, and that was not a mic drop. So, and the thing that I miss is I remember every summer with my brothers when G4 was, you know, a thing, and they had E3 every summer, and we totally like crowd around the TV and like watch the 4 or 5 day long event and make sure we watch the big sessions with Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo and all of that. And I honestly forgot about that until reading that article. So I'm like, what the? Obviously, we probably couldn't have it this year for obvious reasons.
Well, everybody's going to have their own Zoom, like basically what PlayStation did last week.
Sure. So I kind of missed the E3. I thought it was great. It was like, you know, it's like Comic-Con and I'm sure they probably would televise Comic-Con, but I just remember that from being a kid.
And just like we reacted to PlayStation's Future of Gaming last week, we'll definitely be reacting to everything that comes out on this podcast. Tying up a little bit more, going deeper into the console wars. You got Xbox, what they're doing, what their price range is supposed to be around. Well, Ruru2 in the chat room said two things. One, he said that the PS5 is going to be $600. And two, he said most of the new games will have crossplay, so the marriage is saved. There you go. But hypebeast.com posted an article about how Amazon leaked the price of the
Amazon
PS5.
France.
Amazon France. It leaked the price of it. And when everything's totaled together, your American dollars, you're looking at $4.99 for the disc system and $3.99 for the digital system. So
and the release date of November 20th, according to that.
Exactly. So, how's that? Where's that put you, Nudie? Where are you going first?
Well, I'll definitely be getting both of the consoles on launch, and personally, for me, the big distinction is not even power, everything like that. For what it is, like pure specs, the Xbox does look like it is a more powerful console. But from what everybody's been saying that I've been reading, the PlayStation 5 is going to utilize the power better with a lot of the I/O pathways and the way that the information is going to be able to be routed around. It'll be a much more efficient console, even though it doesn't directly have as much power. So I'm a little more excited for the PS5 myself, but it seems like how Mindfreak was mentioning how, Sony came in a little under, gave them more market share all this time, last generation, that Microsoft's going to be trying the same thing this time. From what the article we're reading was saying, that the Series X is going to be about $400, and if they do get a Series S at $200, half the price, that is going to be crazy, and people are going to come in. But from also what they're saying, Series S is not going to be digital, but it's probably going to be less powerful than the Series X. So, are people going to get into the next generation but not be as powerful from right out, pretty much out the gate? Is that going to be ready at launch? Like most of the times for every generation up till now, they've been their standard console, and then 2-3 years down the road, they've come out with different iterations, this and that. So now already just out the gate having PS5 disc version and digital only, and then you have the Xbox Series X, Series S. Is that going to be at launch? Like, it's a different world. It's going to be interesting seeing how it all works out. And I think Microsoft may get the edge in consoles sold and market share this year with their pricing strategy. And seems like that's what they're trying to get in with all the news saying that Sony's going to be the more impressive console. So.
In the chat room, a couple things. Beacon, digital takes up so much space, it's ridiculous. Jack also likes the way the PS controllers are better too. Katz thinks that cloud gaming is the thing in 5 years that will help with digital saves. Absolutely, I agree with that one. Kat says Xbox and PS are working together actually on that. So, and they Viva La France was in there. But where was it? Oh, Nudie always goes to his pants first. He loses his pants the moment he gets home. So. And then Ruru had a great point. Let's be real. People don't buy consoles for power. They buy for exclusives. Sony has the better exclusives at the moment.
And as somebody who's primarily an Xbox player, I will 100% agree with that. When you look at the exclusive titles that PlayStation does offer, they are a lot better. But also, too, the type of games that they are. That's why I have both consoles. If I want to sit and enjoy an exclusive, immersed single-player experience, I'm going to do it on PlayStation. To the point, Final Fantasy VII remake, fantastic game. But then to the other point, I have the original Final Fantasy that they released on Xbox 7 that I played through in all of its 8-bit glory, and it still holds up to this day.
Two notes in the chat room. Cannon Fodder, game consoles are now becoming like buying a new cell phone. Not really. I can see the point on that, but it is still years between them coming out the new generations of the consoles. It's just Xbox was the one that kept pumping out a new version of the Xbox.
I want to say that the PS3 and the PS4, I feel like, the PS5 now is a huge gap, because I remember when they came out, like they had the Dreamcast, and then a couple years later it was like the GameCube. And then they had the Wii, like pretty soon after that. And then it was a little bit, and then they tried to do the Wii U, and that I felt like didn't really take off. And then between the Xbox and the Xbox 360 wasn't that long, but the 360 kind of held on for a while until they came out with this, the Xbox S1. Sorry, now we're on to the S. Or the Scorpio, Sagittarius, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, I feel like this is probably the PlayStation largest gap in between new console releases.
I'm waiting for the Xbox Wolverine slicing into the competition.
Yeah.
Microsoft's naming conventions have been lame. I have to say, this Series X, Series S, the Xbox One X.
And I got Lockhart, I got Lockhart too. So.
Yeah, it has been 6 years since the release of the Xbox One X, and before that, it was 2007.
But they started doing. I hated their strategy because it felt like a money grab to me. Where it's like, well, we're gonna do the exact same system, just a little bit more powerful. Here's the Scorpio. It's not anything new. It's just here's, and that was the. But in a year, we're releasing another system, and I was like, that's kind of cheesy. That's cheap. I don't know. Cannon Fodder said he doesn't care what system he gets as long as he can play Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes, Valhalla awaits.
Okay, so now Nintendo's a little bit into the console wars right now because we've got all these pricing things going on. That's what really people want to know and when things are coming out. But Nintendo's little jump into the foray this month is Pokemon Snap. The new Pokemon Snap is coming to Switch. It is a cult favorite, and they're redoing it in a newer version, a sequel, I guess, where you just go around and take photos of Pokemon, but it's coming to the Switch. And anybody have any thoughts on that? I never played the first one.
I'm for one excited. You know, as a kid on the original N64 playing Pokemon Snap, right? Just sitting here, you know, early in the morning, like on a Saturday or Saturday morning, like after cartoons with your cereal, just go around snapping different Pokemon. It was fun because, you know, that's what all the rage was then, you know. But the fact, you know, since then, how many iterations has Pokemon gone through over the last decade? So you only had the original 150, now you have what, like 1,000 or whatever? So you have way more Pokemon to take pictures of now.
Well, and apparently they're going to have all 8 waves or variations in this game. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of chasing down. Yeah.
Now my question is, if they're smart about it, kind of like when they release Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, are you able to connect it with Pokemon Go? Now, is this a way for them to have the people get up and go later on?
I don't think so. Pokemon Snap was an offshoot. It was a different game than the other Pokemon games. So that's why it was weird for them to read. I don't know.
I'm just thinking, you know, it's Nintendo.
Mario. Yeah, get what Mind Freak's going for. It's the Switch is a portable system. That's what its cool, you know, draws. And Pokemon Go was a massive success for a while. So why not incorporate some AR? And if the whole thing is going and taking a picture, well, hey, find it behind this bush, whatever. I think it's kind of a cool idea. I get what he's saying.
Why you gotta go to a bush?
The tree. I don't know.
Some foliage, some shrubbery. Find it behind the
shrubbery. What? Shrubbery.
I don't know. They're excited in the chat room. Cat Sadao is just posting Pokemon like crazy, so I think he wants us to catch them all in the chat room. And Jack Malice says, if it wasn't for Zelda, would an adult buy one? People love the Pokemon game, and I'm sorry, Animal Crossing is a super loved game, and it's by a lot of adults playing it. So, yeah.
I still like to play Mario Kart on the Switch. Like, it's so much fun. Like, yeah, I understand, you know, it might be targeted for, you know, like, you know, teens and under and stuff like that, but no, like, there's some also pretty good games on there, like Octopath Traveler. If you like the fantasy RPG kind of, it's similar to Final Fantasy in a way. Speaking of which, there's also a rumor that Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is supposedly coming to the Switch sometime in the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
When Pokemon Go came out, there have been so many middle-aged men I had to stop from walking out in traffic playing that game because it was like the first time they ever got like a mobile game. Like they were like, oh, let me see what this is all about, and they did, and it's just me stopping them from running out into traffic. And the other thing too about the Snap, because I remember it coming out whenever it did come out, but I didn't have the N64 or something like that. I'm like, oh, cool, like a new Pokemon game. And then I'm like, I'm a photographer in real life. Like, that would just be playing a video game of my works. So why the hell would I do that?
Route 2's response to your stopping middle-aged men from walking into traffic was, let them get hit. They'll learn, I think, is what he's saying. Sometimes you just remind the game release that stress. Yeah.
And then Nudie Rudy, a poke of the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Yeah. Yeah, but now you've got your vest with the metal plates, so you can go jump out in front of traffic and stop cars with them, right? That's how that works, right?
No, it specifically says like do not use as body armor. Plates.
It means somebody's stupid enough to.
Of course they are, because it's a 511 brand, so it looks tactical. It looks operator AF. Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, moving on to the next subject. That's the console wars are just getting started, so there's going to be a lot more stuff coming. But let's go into talking about the platform that we're sitting here on. We're on Twitch, and if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to this wherever you listen to podcasts, check out two things. One, check out our website, malice-corp.com. There's a lot of fun over there, a lot of other things to listen to, some old articles you can check out. Or come check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Malice Corp. We record every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern. And occasionally on Saturday and Sunday, you'll see Masonic Vader streaming some video games. But yeah, he's not streaming the next thing. The next thing that is blowing up that I just wouldn't have thought of Twitch to do this for. I guess people are getting sick of Fortnite. But chess. Chess is skyrocketing. It's doubling its numbers over and over again. Analytics from Solely Gnome, this was from TheVerge.com, by Stream Elements. The hours watching chess have nearly doubled every month. In May, there was more than 8 million hours of people watching chess on Twitch. I think we need to go to chess.
Yeah, chess is
We need to start playing chess with each other.
It's cutthroat as hell.
Yeah, it is.
From 3rd to 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And my crowning achievement ever was beating Neil Erlacher at chess in the 9th grade, because he was the smartest person in our grade, and I beat him at chess. To be fair, he probably wasn't paying attention, but I still beat him. So
I was taught to start playing chess at 5 years old, with three with the knight, the rook, and the bishop, just to start learning how. And my family was really big into chess, so this is a huge thing to me, seeing chess kind of taking over Twitch. But what do you guys think about like an old school game, taking over, where shooters are the main thing generally?
Because like, regardless if people want to believe it or not, chess is like one of the ultimate strategy games.
It is the ultimate strategy game.
Yeah, it is. Like you hear it in movies, like, like war movies or shoot movies, like, okay, it's the game of chess has begun. Who makes the first move? Like, it all comes back down to chess. It is the ultimate strategy game. Like I'm the same as you. Like I was like 5-6 years old when I started learning how to play, and I love the game. It's a fun game, but it's
there. White makes the first move. Right?
Go ahead.
So, but I mean, it's like, like to see it popping up, it's great because of the fact that it gets you thinking. You have to think. And also teach me personally. I think it helps you teach lessons for later on in life. Like how to think, how to critically think, analyze. All right, I did a bad move. What can I do to fix it? That kind of thing. That's just me. But like, I think it's great the fact that people are watching chess. Mm-hmm. And if that many people watching chess, I'm gonna have to restart up my Twitch channel just to play some chess.
You got some nudie?
Yeah, I grew up playing chess with my dad. Love the game. It's fun seeing that, this centuries-old game with all this history is still going strong. This is kind of fun. And the fact that, with all this modern console war stuff we're talking about, that good old, board game still going strong.
Ruru2 says, chess is still a game when both sides have equal starting point. Play some real-life diplomacy simulator. Kat Sedal says, only approximately 3,800 viewers right now watching chess over the 3,500 on poker, which leads me to my next question. Yes, a lot of people, they're doubling their numbers by each month, but is it people falling asleep watching chess? Because while I like the game, it is boring to watch, in all honesty.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same way as like people enjoy watching golf, or it's like the new ASMR. I have no idea. The cool thing about it, though, is chess is one of those games, like, there's not, like, words, or, like, you don't have to speak the same language to know how to play chess, to play anyone at chess. Like, it's just one of those games, like, you know it, and you can just play with somebody else, and hopefully you can, you know, be 5 to 7 steps ahead of them, as opposed to me, who can only get like 3 steps ahead, and I fail. But no, it's one of those games I think is very universal, and definitely, you know, it is the strategic game of games, I guess. So yeah, no, it's a good equalizer. Like everybody, like, you know how to play, everybody can play it. It's not super hard, or it's as hard as you make it.
Yeah.
One could possibly say it is a Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So Kat says blasphemy. He enjoys watching golf. And Beacon says, I too enjoy watching golf, but only if Tiger is playing. So you've got people that enjoy watching golf against what you had to say, Elodie.
And there are some people who enjoy watching chess. I'm just saying, I don't find it like entertaining, but some people might.
Is there a game?
I was going to say that brings up a point. Like, what if like people are, you know, like how there's like watch parties for like sports and UFC fights. Like, what if somebody's just streaming Twitch as a party? He's like, Knights of Big 4, what are you doing, Eddie? You know, like just screaming at their TV like people do as a sports stuff.
Is there another board game, old school, that you want to see people play on Twitch?
Risk.
Oh, Risk is a good one. Monopoly.
That's
that
the one. I was thinking seeing people just go nuts, insane over Monopoly. So
remember the game Aggravation?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that one. That could be good.
Yeah, we're all just gonna watch everybody play Mousetrap.
Even though it's not a board game,
Shoots and ladders, man.
Shoots and ladders, yeah, that's a good one. Even though
Beacon asked if anybody's streaming the Cones of Dunshire. That's from Parks and Rec, if you guys didn't get the reference.
I wish that game was real. I would play it in a heartbeat.
And then Cannon Fodder says, how about playing Sorry? So yeah. I don't know. Maybe Twitch will go to that, where you'll see like these old board games getting played.
Well, I mean, in speaking of, you know, like console wars, Ubisoft does have Monopoly that you can download and play and stream live online with other people. But it's not the same. It's not, because people just rage quit.
Yeah.
Instead of like seeing somebody flip the table, like I'm done. There's like turn Xbox off. Bye.
Yeah, just watch everybody playing Scrabble. I don't think that's a word. All right. Last nerd news headline today is Star Wars. LRM Online. It's a rumor mill, but they don't foresee any movies coming for a while. But Disney Plus is ramping up. And one of the series that they're ramping up with is a Dave Filoni-centric series that's going to focus on Ezra from the Rebels and Thrawn, which is a favorite character of our producer, Jack Malice. But they're talking about utilizing elements from the Timothy Zahn series of books, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command, which the really interesting factor with this one, Zahn is who made Thrawn. He created the character. But two, these books are no longer canon, and they take place with all the main characters from Star Wars. So if you utilized elements from that, you would have to start replacing characters with other characters. Just wanted to get kind of thoughts on going that route. I know Mind Freak's probably going to be the biggest one, because I know Nudie Rudy's not a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I kind of like it because I like Star Wars, but I haven't really ventured farther than the movies and Mandalorian. Saw a little bit of Knights of the Old Republic video game, but as far as like the extended and expanded universe, not super. Like I didn't even watch the Clone Wars cartoon, but getting kind of more of that like expanded and extended universe knowledge, so I don't have to read the books to know who Thrawn is. Because I know Jack Malice is gonna get pissed off at me.
Not as pissed off about what I'm about to say.
Yeah, but no, I think it's great, and because they have so much to pull from. Like, there's so much stuff out there in the Star Wars universe that they can do with not just books, but put into movies or miniseries or shows or, whatever they want to do. So lots of room for creativity. I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Go for it, Mind Freak. Don't get us kicked off.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to say. I think you already know what I'm going to say. We talked about it in a previous.
I don't know. I'm
not going to say it. I'm not going to say. I won't say it. No, but to see them expanding on a show, especially the one that Filoni's heading, and kind of have it centric around Thrawn, around Ezra. Which, if you watched Rebels, I mean, yeah, there's more points in this and that of it, too, that kind of lead into other movies and all that stuff, but. Just to see what they do with that and what kind of story they're going to expand on it. Is it going to be pre-Rebels, after Rebels, during Rebels, on different side stories, arcs? Is it going to be later on in the future? The elements that they're going to pull from the books and changing characters, they can easily input characters from Rebels to that if that's what they're going to do, since the books aren't canon. So there are many endless different possibilities on the ways that they can go with this. But if anybody's going to be doing Thrawn or doing a show centric around Thrawn and Ezra, it has to either be Filoni or Favreau. But the fact that it is Filoni, I'm all in for it, and it's going to be good regardless.
A couple things in the chat room. Jack Malice, there's 2 trilogies for Thrawn. One is canon, one is not. Yeah, I responded with but they're pulling from the series that is not canon. Kat Sadal says, rumor is connecting these shows together as shows. So Mandalorian, the Thrawn show, Ahsoka are a Game of Thrones format. They were all connect. Yeah. He wanted to know if you were going to say something crazy like Star Trek is better is what Beacon was asking, which I don't think.
No. Who I want to see play Thrawn.
No, we're not going to go there.
Is.
We're not going to go there. So
now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're not going there.
We're not going there. You would never see me on the show ever again if we went there.
MCU type, but Game of Thrones is what cats it out. Okay, go ahead, Nudie. Let's give us your.
I'm fine. I'm not familiar with Thrawn, so no big deal. I just agree with our friend Cats there, so nothing big,
Okay, he's a pretty prolific character, and
Beacon, sorry.
He's gotten a huge following, and yeah, I think it would be cool to see him in this format. The series of books that are mentioned are phenomenal. So, and like I said, those are the series that introduce Thrawn to the entire universe of Star Wars. So, I don't know. I'm all for it. I just don't know what they're gonna. I'm curious how they're gonna replace Luke, Han, and if they pull those elements, or if they're just gonna focus on just the Thrawn elements and have the side story that was going on with them not be part of it. I don't know.
I didn't say it. Jack said it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. So, yeah, Kat says they won't use those elements. All right, so that's it. That's what we got for nerd news. So let's move on to a big, power-packed. Somebody's got to talk about it.
We need to talk.
You talking to me?
Oh my God! Who told you?
Have you told anyone else about this?
What you talking about?
Look who's talking.
Somebody's got to talk about it. Is the weird, the odd, the funny, the just straight up strange stories that somebody's got to talk about. We've got 3 to talk about this week. The first one, and I looked it up just to see what the update was, so I'll tell you that in a second. But Keanu Reeves is auctioning off a 15-minute Zoom date, one-on-one with Keanu. How much would you pay? It goes to charity, so it's a really cool thing. And Keanu is pretty far away from social media, so being able to interact with him would be kind of cool. But yeah, what do you guys think about? Have you bid on it yet?
Last I saw was like $16,000. So
I looked it up right before the show.
Oh,
so give me guesses. What do you guys think it's at?
Oh, it's got to be, I want to say 22,000, Alex.
Okay.
50,000.
Okay. What about you, Nudie?
Go for a nice round 25.
It is currently at 75,000.
Whoa!
I was gonna say, hey, we can all pitch together and see if we could get him to be on the cast, Nope, not
No.
$75,000.
Yeah.
Is it at 125K or is that your guess, Pecan? I know it didn't shoot up that much in the last hour.
Gosh, that's crazy. I mean, if I had that as pocket change, yeah, sure. I'd totally bet on that to meet Keanu Reeves. I watched the clip attached to the article from when he was in Always Be My Maybe with Ali Wong and Randall Park, and he was hysterical. So I think between that and just his breadth of acting from that and Bill and Ted and, you know, John Wick and whatever, I think he'd be a pretty chill guy to hang out with. I think it'd be cool to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to Camp Rainbow, which provides fun, novel experiences to children with cancer and their families. So it's a really cool thing that he's doing. And yeah, I do think he would be a really cool guy to, you know, chit chat with for 15 minutes. I think it's worth what you're spending for what's going to it. So what do you think, Nudie?
I think a date with Keanu is awesome. Heck, I'll take him out for drinks, hang out, you know, it works for me. Ain't got $75,000, but you know.
Beacon says it's a Zoom call, so what's the percentage of he is wearing pants? I know if Nudie Rudy was on the Zoom call with him, I don't think either one of them would be wearing pants. So. No
pants involved at all. Zero pants.
Jackson is trying to figure out how we can get the 75K. He says we can sell a kidney from me, Vader, Mind Freak, and the Bearded Master, and then we could afford it. I don't know the amount of alcohol that we've done drinking. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I figured he didn't list me, so we're good.
So Cannon Fodder says that the Zoom call would be breathtaking. What do you think, Mind Freak?
Yes, breathtaking. It'd be awesome. You know, just how can you not be a fan of Keanu? Like not just because of the movies, but who he is and the kind of guy that he is. You know, I would want to get starstruck. I just would want to just have just a conversation about it. You know, just a regular talk. Like, you know, what's it like? You know, doing like all these different projects, this and that kind of thing. You know, like and just hear the stories of stuff like that from him. I think that would just be fascinating.
I don't know. With 15 minutes. I think I'd just be quoting films to him the whole time. I think it would be hard not to, like, you know, there's something strange afoot at the Circle K, and then
when People Magazine interviews him for Sexiest Man of the Year, and they ask, "What was the shittiest date you've ever been on?" Like, man, that mess 5150 guy just yikes.
Kept quoting movies and just kept he said "whoa" every like other word.
Whoa.
Whoa. That would be my response to everything, because he'd say something, I'd be like, "Whoa."
I think if that was me, like the first thing I'd say to him would be like, "Party on, dudes!" Just to see what he would do, you know.
And Demons High School football rules.
I think he'd go along with it, in all honesty, you know.
Yeah,
so
he just seems like that kind of guy. He really does.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear what the person that wins, if there's anything that comes out of that, if they say anything. But yeah. Next, somebody's got to talk about it. Would you want to live in a town called Flavortown?
Yes,
great.
Yes.
Because that's what some people in Columbus, Ohio are recommending, that they get their town changed to Flavortown in honor of Guy Fieri. And the you know, they said the name is twofold. For one, it honors Central Ohio's proud heritage as a culinary crossroads and one of the nation's largest test markets for the food industry. And secondly, Guy Fieri was born in Columbus, so naming the city in honor of him would be superior to its current the political stuff. So we'll stay away from that. But yeah, Flavortown.
I'd move there in a heartbeat. I would move there in a heartbeat, no questions asked. Where do you live? Flavortown, Ohio?
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
See, I want to know what this culinary crossroads is. The only thing that I'm familiar with that comes out of Ohio is Cincinnati Skyline chili, which I'm pretty sure is just chili on spaghetti noodles.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what culinary crossroads are
Trash
talking
can
about.
nachos.
They're known for trash can nachos.
No, that's one of his actual like food that he has at one of his restaurants in Vegas. They're called trash can nachos, and they're amazing.
I'm thinking of like his little goatee. So you'd have, if
You
they
mean
went
the
that
flavor
route.
saver? That's called
Exactly.
a flavor
So
saver.
you have Flavortown,
Soul Patch. Mm-hmm.
and you got Flavortown, and then you rename the highway Flavor Saver Way or something.
And then like the guardrails are like the hot rod flame paint, like the shirts.
Yeah.
Of course, they're gonna have to change the Columbus, Ohio city flag to polyester flame T-shirt, bowling shirt.
with the I forget what years with his car. It's just like the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, oof. I mean, Guy Fieri's like, I've never watched Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I have been to a couple restaurants that he was at, which of course were very delicious. They were crowded, of course, but that's, the nature of those shows. And I've heard he's just like a genuinely nice guy. So tacky, sure. Nice, absolutely. So it wouldn't be the worst idea ever. It's better than Bodie McBoatface when they were trying to name that one expedition boat.
The bigger question is if they actually got this to happen, which it won't, but that if it did happen, how many guys are going to get slapped when they tell girls that they're going to take them to Flavortown?
Oh.
No, that's where he lives. Seriously, look at my ID.
Oh, in the chat, Rutu says it stinks, and Cannon Potter says it depends on what the flavor is. But if it's Flavortown, there's many flavors.
Flavortown, Ohio, or on the ID, Flavortown. Oh.
All right, last thing. We're halfway to Halloween, so I guess we'll talk about this. The last somebody's got to talk about it. Spirit Halloween comes out with Dungeons and Dragons costumes, and oh boy, let me get these up. There is a podcast called the Malice Corp Actual Play, and I expect at some point to see video or pictures of members of the podcast wearing these, actually doing the recording the podcast.
Okay, yeah, those are terrible, man.
Yep, these are the costumes.
So
you've got the Dungeon Master from the old cartoon for Dungeons and Dragons. You've got Drizzt's costume. It's a bad Drizzt's costume, and I don't know who the girl is.
This is supposed to be Cattie Brie. That's what I thought it was supposed to be.
Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah.
See, the good thing about this is because it's official, so they can actually put the names of it, not like make some terrible replica of a costume and then call it somewhat similar to the thing. As we was it when they had the Sheldon Cooper one? Instead of saying Sheldon Cooper, it was like annoying, nerdy next door neighbor or something like that because it wasn't official. Or they can actually put the official names, but they look bad. It looks like I had an audiobook, of course, and it was Tales of Drizzt. And they had a bunch of variety of readers, and they had like Will Wheaton and Megan Rao, Michelle Rao, whatever her name is, and a bunch of other like normal people you'd expect. And then they had Ice-T read a chapter. And it seems like when he read that chapter that this is what the characters would look like.
The chat room. So Jack says, "Can you say no?" To which Cannon Fodder says, "Just no." To which Jack says, "Yeah, just say no." And Theopolis wants to know if someone will dress up as Uni from the 80s cartoon. So
it straight up looks like somebody was like it, I may get slapped for saying this or talked down to whatever, but it literally looks like a Dungeons and Dragons episode of Rick and Morty came to life.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's the kind of like look and vibe that's like, oh hey, like Rick and Morty, real life Dungeons and Dragons version. This is what it looked like.
It was well, I mean, the one thing that does look kind of decent, you can get just the accessories by themselves, and
Those look
I mean,
cool.
those don't look terrible. So the Drizzt's rapiers and I like the Dungeon Master guide in the faux leather.
Mm-hmm.
So
see, by themselves, those look pretty cool. But combine them with the actual look. That's yeah. and the Dungeon Master, like with the bald head, that just looks like somebody took somebody's face and just photoshopped on it. It doesn't look like real. Like I could probably do that better by just getting like white extensions and just putting them around my bald head like that.
The wig is so bad it looks photoshopped even when it's not.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Rurutu says I think they need to hire some Weta designers to make their official armor. So, this is our first taste at bad Halloween this year. So there's gonna be more coming. You hit the halfway mark to Halloween and things start going. So, that's it. That's all I got. Unless you guys got something. That's all we got to talk about for this week. We're going to talk about where you can follow everybody outside this cast. Aloni will tell you where you can hear her on other podcasts. In fact, where can they find you, Aloni?
So you can find me along with some other Malice Corp people at the Malice Cast Actual Play. It's a D&D, but we've been having some technical issues, so we haven't had a couple episodes out. So if you'd like to re-listen to a couple of them, they're still on there for you. But we're trying to work some bugs out and stuff like that. But that is where you can find me. So on malicecorp.com and yeah, wherever you find podcasts.
Nice. What about you, Nudie Rudy?
You can follow me at Nudie Rudy on Instagram, Nudie Rudy on Twitter, Nudie Rudy on PlayStation Network, and check us out at malicecorp.com and the Malice Corp official Instagram.
Nice. And Mindfreak.
You guys can follow me at Twitter at MindFreakMLG, and also follow me on Xbox at Mindfreak, MINDFREVK.
If you want to follow everybody here, malice-corp.com. Check us out if you guys want to help support. Always make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you are going to be purchasing anything from Amazon, when you're over at malice-corp.com, click on the Amazon link before you purchase, and you will help us out, as well as make sure to subscribe wherever you listen or watch the podcast. If you want to check me out, you can check me out on Twitter at @mest_malicecorp or on Instagram at mest5150. And come have fun with us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/all things nerd podcast. We're there 24/7, doing all types of fun things, dropping GIFs and memes and different stories and articles that pop up. So come hang out with us over on Facebook. And that's it. That's all we got for you. We'll be back next Friday. You guys keep nerding on, and we will see you.